Given the clear scientific consensus that climate change is worsening disasters like the wildfires and hurricanes that have destroyed thousands of homes and caused billions of dollars of damages this year alone, what is your plan to address climate change in order to protect impacted communities and prevent these disasters from getting worse?
How will your administration lead us into a healthier and more secure future?
My patients have been asking me how concerned we need to be about climate change as we're learning that there are lots of health effects associated with climate change. What would you do immediately to start addressing climate change?
I know from firsthand the devastating consequences of natural disasters. We know that these disasters affect communities of color disproportionately. So I would like to know, how would you address these disparities and protect communities?
What will you do to address the pollution, the disproportionate impact on communities of color, and the climate emergency that we find ourselves in?
What will be the plan to both solve the climate crisis while simultaneously making sure that Black women are safe while giving birth?
What is your plan to address climate change and ensure we have clean air to breathe and clean water to drink?
How do you plan to incorporate gender equity in your future approach to the climate crisis?
How will you, as president, ensure that the actions you take will withstand the skeptics in the federal judiciary?
Is it a priority for you to bring scientists back to rejuvenated and welcoming federal programs? What would you do to bring them back or to attract new qualified replacements?
What are your plans to build a sustainable economy with good jobs, rebuild America's crumbling infrastructure, and loosen the grip of polluting coal, oil, and gas on our future?
How does your climate plan restore our economy and bring us back from the current economic downturn?
What is your plan to help reduce our greenhouse gas emissions in the transportation sector?
What they're going to do to hold fossil fuel companies accountable for their decades of climate change denial, for their misinformation campaigns, and for all they do to stand in the way of protections for our air, our water, and our climate.
What they will do on the climate crisis within their first 100 days of assuming office.
I'd like Kristen Welker to ask the next president what they're going to do to ensure that our cities are resilient against the mounting threats of the climate crisis.
How will you work with international partners to ensure that every country is taking the necessary steps to reduce global emissions?
I want to know, what will the candidates do to address the plight of current and future climate refugees right here in the U.S.?
Kristen Welker should ask the next president how they plan to empower and support American workers in the transition to a low-carbon, climate-resilient future.